Hello, horror lovers. Welcome to the chilling world of Mr. Haunt. Please subscribe. It's our biggest motivation to keep bringing you spine-tingling stories. Let us know in the comments which city you're listening from. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Now, let's get into the stories. I've been a long-haul trucker for over a decade, and I've seen a lot of strange things on the road, but nothing prepared me for the night I picked up the hitchhiker on Route 82. It was just past midnight, rain slanting sideways across the windshield. I slowed to a crawl when I saw a figure on the shoulder soaked, thumb out, shoulders hunched, and an expression I couldn't read from a distance. I usually avoid picking up strangers, company rules, personal rules. But something about him made me hesitate. Maybe curiosity. Maybe the road had been empty too long. I pulled over and rolled down the window. "Where are you headed?" I shouted over the rain. He didn't speak, didn't move, just stepped closer and opened the door without asking, climbing in silently. His clothes were soaked through, plastered to his skin, and his eyes, I'll never forget them. Solid black. Almost reflective, like oil on water. He didn't blink. Not once. I swallowed hard. "You need a ride?" Or, still nothing. Just stared ahead. I tried to make conversation, asking his name, joking about the weather. Still nothing. My hands gripped the wheel tighter. The truck felt suddenly too small. We drove for about 20 minutes. I kept glancing at him in the side mirror. His eyes never left the road ahead. Then I noticed his posture. It was too perfect, unnaturally straight, shoulders locked, hands resting on his knees like a mannequin. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. "Hey, this is your stop," I asked. "I can pull over anywhere." He finally spoke, but not with a human voice. Low, gravelly, almost like the sound of tires rolling over wet leaves. "Keep driving." I froze. My instincts screamed to stop, but something about that command made my hands tighten on the wheel. I drove and drove. Hours felt like minutes. The radio flickered, static, cutting through every station. My mirrors seemed to distort. The road behind us stretched longer than it should. When dawn broke, I looked over. The seat was empty, the door locked. No sign he'd ever been there. Just a wet spot on the floor and the lingering smell of rain and something else. Something metallic, like iron or blood. I called the company and explained I had a rogue hitchhiker. Maybe someone playing a prank. They laughed, said I must have been tired. I haven't driven that stretch of Route 82 at night since. Because sometimes, when the rain starts and the road disappears in darkness, I swear I can feel eyes in the cab behind me, and they never blink. I run freight overnight because traffic is lighter and the pay's better. You learn to trust numbers when you drive for a living. Mile markers, exit signs, fuel gauges. They're the only constants when everything else blurs together. That's why the new mile marker bothered me so much. I noticed it just after crossing into a stretch of desert highway I've driven 100 times. Mile 217. Clean, reflective, fresh metal. I remember thinking it must have been replaced recently. Construction happens. 10 minutes later, I passed mile 217 again. I slowed down, heart thumping, same marker. Same scuff near the base. Same faint dent, halfway up the pole. I checked my GPS. It said I'd moved forward. The odometer agreed, but the road ahead looked reused. Same crack patterns. Same dead tumbleweed, resting half on the shoulder. I told myself fatigue was playing tricks on me. Then the radio crackled. Not music. Not static. A voice. "You missed your turn." It sounded calm, professional, like a dispatcher who'd done this too long to care anymore. I grabbed the mic. "This is Unit 4. Who's calling?" No answer. Just a click, then silence. I passed mile 217 a third time this time. There was something new beneath it. A truck, same make as mine, same color, same company logo faded on the door. Hazard lights blinking weakly. The cab door hung open. I pulled over before I could stop myself. Up close, the truck looked wrong, weathered in a way that didn't match the rest of the highway. Dust packed into seams like it had been sitting there for years. Inside, the seat was torn open, foam spilling out. The windshield was cracked from the inside. I noticed the smell next. Old sweat, oil, something sour. That's when I saw the logbook. My name was on it. Not just the name, the handwriting. My handwriting. Entries filled every page, dates stretching back months into the future. The last entry was today's date. Time, 2:17. Location, mile 217. Note, do not stop next time. My chest tightened. I backed away from the cab, eyes darting to the road. Empty, silent, no wind, no insects. Just the low hum of my own engine idling behind me. The radio crackled again. "You always stop," the voice said. "That's the problem." I ran back to my truck and slammed the door, hands shaking so badly I almost missed the ignition. As I pulled onto the highway, I checked the mirrors. The abandoned truck was gone, so was the mile marker. The GPS recalculated. The road stretched straight and empty ahead of me, like nothing strange had ever happened. I didn't stop again until sunrise, when I finally parked at a rest area. I checked my logbook. There was a new entry at the bottom of the page, written in my handwriting, though I don't remember writing it. Time, 2:18. Location, continuing note. You listened this time. I quit long-haul driving a week later, but sometimes, when I'm driving late and see a mile marker shining to clean in the dark, my foot eases off the gas without me deciding to, because somewhere out there is a version of me who didn't. And the road remembers exactly where he stopped. I've driven cross-country for years, and I know every rest stop, every diner, every exit along my routes, or at least I thought I did. That night, on I-40, somewhere in New Mexico, I found one that shouldn't have existed. It was after 3 a.m., my eyelids heavy, the highway stretching straight and dark. The GPS was glitchy, giving me a delayed ETA and snapping between signals. Then, out of nowhere, a light appeared in the distance, a neon sign, blinking faintly. Sierra Truck Stop. I swore I hadn't seen it on the maps before. Not even in the satellite view I checked during the day. I shrugged. I needed a break. Pulled off the shoulder, the truck rumbling down the access road. Asphalt ended abruptly, replaced by cracked concrete leading to the lot. Old, but functional. Lights flickering inside the building. I parked and stepped out. The air was dry, hotter than the highway, smelling faintly of fuel and something else. Metallic, like iron or blood. A lone man behind the counter waved at me, face hidden under the brim of a wide hat. His smile didn't reach his eyes. "Coffee?" he asked, voice thin and flat. I nodded. I walked inside. The place looked normal. Stale sandwiches behind glass. Cold fluorescent lights buzzing. But there was something off. No other trucks. No staff, except him. And the register rang with a sound too deep for a normal machine. I set my gear down, and that's when I noticed the mirrors. Every wall had a mirror, not decorative, strategically placed, so no corner escaped reflection. And in each one, my reflection looked wrong, posture slightly off. head tilted just a little too far to one side. Fingers splayed differently. I froze, tried to step back. The counterman tilted his head, silently observing. "Long drive," he said. "We like to make sure people arrive. Complete, complete," I asked. My voice echoed. He nodded, toward the mirrors. "Not everyone comes through unchanged. Some people don't leave at all." I tried to turn and run, but the door wasn't there anymore. Just more mirrors, stretching endlessly. I could see myself walking backward in one reflection, forward in another, like I was being watched from a dozen angles at once. The man stepped toward me slowly, lifting a hand. Shadow stretched impossibly long across the floor. Then I felt it, a weight pressing against my chest, my knees buckling. My own reflection grinned at me. Not me, not entirely. Sharp teeth, eyes black, movements independent from mine. I don't know how long I was there. Minutes, hours. When I finally stumbled toward the door, it reappeared. Outside, the lot looked abandoned. The neon sign was gone. The cracked concrete was just cracked concrete. No trucks, no man, no lights. The highway stretched ahead as normal. I kept driving until dawn, refusing every stop. Later, I checked my GPS. No truck stop ever existed there. Satellite images showed only desert and scrubland. Sometimes, when I drive late and the dark stretches too long, I swear I see the neon flicker on the horizon, and I remember the reflection in the mirror, my reflection, smiling back at me, waiting. I was hauling refrigerated freight across the Midwest, the kind of runs where miles of empty asphalt feel endless. It was 2:30 a.m., snow falling lightly, headlights cutting a tunnel through the white blur. I was halfway through my shift, tired, coffee cold in a thermos beside me, when the CB radio crackled, not the usual static or trucker chatter. This was clear, precise. "Jeremy?" I froze. My name. Not a handle, not a nickname. My actual name. I tapped the microphone. "Who is this?" "Truck 47. Over." Nothing. Just another crackle. Then silence. I shook it off. Must be a prank. Someone messing with the CB. Maybe a dispatcher reading the wrong channel. But the voice came again. Smoother, calmer. "Jeremy, keep driving. Don't stop." I swallowed hard, gripping the wheel. "I'm not stopping." "Over," I said. My voice trembled more than I wanted. The snow started falling harder. Visibility dropped to near zero. I felt my pulse spike, not just from the storm, but because the voice was everywhere now. Static, then words, coming from all directions at once, echoing inside the cab. "You shouldn't have taken this route." I looked in the mirrors. Empty highway. No other trucks. No cars. Just me and the storm. Then headlights appeared behind me. Another semi. Too close. Too fast. I could see the outline in the snow, but the lights were off. Just a dark silhouette, cutting through the white. I floored the gas. The cab vibrated as I shifted gears, the engine screaming. The voice came again. Softer now, like it was right next to my ear. "Faster, Jeremy, or you'll never get home." Panic set in. The black semi mirrored every turn I made, always perfectly aligned. I tried to call the police, my company, anyone. CB dead, cell phone dead, GPS spinning USELESSLY. Then I saw it, reflected in the side mirror, towering over the road behind me, a figure standing in the middle of the lane. Not human, not fully. Canine features, towering height, black eyes catching the headlights. The semi gone. Only that thing now, matching my speed. I swerved. It didn't flinch, didn't hesitate, just followed. Hours passed, tore, maybe minutes. Time stretched and bent. Eventually, the first hints of sunrise broke the horizon. The figure vanished as suddenly as it appeared. No trace in the snow. No tire marks. The CB radio crackled one last time. Clear. Human. Good morning, Jeremy. Drive safely. I never took that route again. Even now, when I'm driving alone at night, the CB can pick up my name, whispered, waiting, telling me it's still listening.